Welcome to a very special Extrasode of Zeng This.
Zeng This.
Well, we got me and Ellie, of course.
Yes.
Rob's floating around our studio area, so he might chime in. Who knows? So we're going to we have an extra episode, hence Extrasode of Zeng This,
Tiny size.
to introduce a very special segment that will be part of the main podcast. But like I said, due to some events transpiring, we wanted to make sure to include it as its own separate thing this time. Ellie, would you like to introduce your segment?
Yes, I would. I would like to periodically have little discussions about anime. I don't want to do like lists or top tens or anything like that. Everybody does that nowadays. But I just wanted to, particularly this week, I wanted to talk about a little bit about Netflix's original animes that they have.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm impressed that they've had some pretty good ones. I'm not going to mention all of the Netflix original animes. I'm just going to mention a few that I think are pretty cool.
Now, are these are ones that are done for Netflix, not ones that are just on Netflix? I'm just clarifying.
Correct. Yes, correct. They
okay,
are.
Cool.
Yes, because Netflix has a lot of animes on it, but these are the Netflix originals. They're only on Netflix.
All right, cool. I just wanted to clarify.
Well, in America, they're only on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yes. And the first one I wanted to talk about, you yourself have watched with me, so
yes.
It's exciting because
I think I know which one this is.
I try to get you to watch more and more anime, so I was happy when you sat down and watched this one with me. You want to guess which one it is?
The 7 Deadly Sins.
Yes, it is. It was 2 days, I think, we blazed through this one.
Yeah, that one went pretty fast because
Yeah.
you were watching it, and I'm like, what's this? And kind of couldn't get up from the couch afterwards.
Yes, and I even recapped and like watched a few again so I could watch it with him.
Yeah.
But we have we have been anticipating the season 2.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there hasn't been a specific release date yet.
I've glanced at some of the mangas to see what
Oh,
happens in them.
okay.
So, I mean, I'm not going to say anything,
Well,
but there's some interesting stuff.
You are assuming that
They'll follow
it's going to follow the manga. Exactly. Who knows? Well, that's to be determined. They have released a 4-episode OVA in Japan, and has like a teaser for the season 2 at the end of the OVA. But American release, there's no date yet. They're looking at end of this year, maybe early next year. So hopefully soon. But the creator wanted to originally do for the manga 3 story arcs. So if the second story arc is what the season 2 is going to be about, I don't know how much you've read up on it, but it is supposed to be focusing on the demon clan. The group of demons called the 10 Commandments.
Yes, okay. I was about to say their name, but I'm like, I don't want to say it, and then you'd be like, that's not what I'm talking about.
No, yes. So it seems interesting, but like I said, that's if it goes with the manga.
Are we wanting to talk more about the storyline to this, or are we wanting to kind of get this as, hey, if you haven't watched this yet, go watch it? Because I want to say some stuff, but...
Well, you can say some stuff. Just please don't do any spoilers, because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody that hasn't seen it.
I can't. So definitely, I would recommend checking this out. Like I said, we went through this very quickly. It's really good. I'd like to kind of say if you're fans of Full Metal Alchemist or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I kind of compared it to that a lot.
Okay.
It's very, I'm not trying to say this in a bad way, but it's very cliche at times.
Yes, they have fan pandering stuff in it.
There's fan pandering. There's a lot of cliche.
But it's a nice amount.
Yeah, it's good. Like I said, I don't want to say that because it sounds like it's a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing.
And they're also, if it goes according to the manga, it is supposed to be introducing a new sin.
That would be the last one. Oh, wait. Didn't you want to Oops.
You're like, ooh. Well, it's the sin of pride.
Yes.
So I don't know if I'm gonna say this right. So it's Escanar or Escan. Yeah, I'm guessing.
We're shrugging here.
Yes.
So.
But so I'm very excited. I do kind of hope that it goes towards the manga because this sounds interesting. So.
Cool. All right. What would be the next one on the list then?
So the next one that I wanted to talk about was Knights of Sidonia.
Okay. That's one I've seen you watching before.
Yes. It's set 1,000 years after mankind leaves Earth, after it's destroyed by the Ghana. They're like alien shapeshifters. Not going to talk too much about, the specifics about this one, but it's kind of interesting. I do enjoy it. It has a lot of sci-fi type of elements. So if you're more into the sci-fi versus the medieval fantasy with the knights and all that, this one is a different departure of that. And you've got human cloning and human photosynthesis and asexual reproduction. So it's a really cool. If you could see his face, you're flabbergasted.
I don't know what to say to that one.
Okay, sorry. But basically, it's just mankind fighting against these Ganas, and the selected few are the Guardian pilots that will fight them. So,
cool.
Kind of, that's the main gist of it. There is 2 seasons out for that one to watch. There's possibly a 3rd season coming out, but we'll see.
All right, so I'm getting famous apparently for weird segues. You were talking about Knights of Sidonia.
Yes.
It's in the future.
Yes.
It also has the Ghana in it.
Yes.
And it's a Netflix original.
Correct.
Well, I've got one. I know this is your thing, but I've got one that is a Netflix original, has the Gara in it, and is in the future. What could that be?
I wonder.
And it has a season 2 coming out. So, Voltron.
Yes.
I was very, very excited about that one. I enjoyed watching.
Got to bring back the lions.
Exactly. I was excited as a kid to watch Voltron and everything, so it was cool to see it come back. And it's come back at such a time to where it's very family friendly too.
Yeah,
so you can have it to where somebody who grew up watching Voltron can now watch it with their kids. So they're bridging a generational gap. And I mean, the last one left on such a big cliffhanger. Not going to spoil it. Watch it. It's pretty cool. And I think that this is a good one for fans of Avatar: The Last Airbender or Legend of Korra. Would very much be able to jump on and be a part of this show. Not in the sense of the storyline, but just more of the way the show's done is very similar in the same vein as those shows. So it's definitely one I would like to throw in on your anime corner real quick. If that's okay.
Fine. Yep, that's awesome.
Awesome. Moving on to your next topic. your next pick.
My next pick is one that's not out yet. But it looks really, it sounds really cool. It's called Perfect Bones.
Oh.
And it basically is, in the future, it's a sci-fi thriller. And it's a future where scientists attempt to create the perfect human for peace. And I know that storyline sounds familiar for other things, but it looks kind of cool. And it is made by the same creator as Attack on Titan and Psycho Pass.
Ooh.
Which are both animes that I have watched and loved in the past. And you've watched some of Attack on Titan.
I think I've watched everything that's available currently, and I know a lot about the stuff that happens after where the show's at too.
Right.
And it's roller coaster ride coming up, people. If you just watch the show, if they follow the manga at all, it's about to get weird.
So, looking forward to that one. Like I said, I don't know the dates for that one yet, but it is supposed to be coming out soon.
Cool.
Another one I just wanted to briefly mention. I've only watched a few episodes of it, but it's and I'm not going to pronounce this correctly. Again, I'm sorry. Is Kiro Mukuro? Mm-hmm. I think it's a mecha genre. I don't know if you saw me watching that one or not, but it has really good character development so far over the series, and I think that one looks pretty entertaining if you like that style.
All right. Awesome.
And the last one that I wanted to mention was it's called Asian. It's AJIN. This is another one that I haven't watched an extreme amount of, but I have watched the first few episodes, and they're demi-humans. And just the main premise is there's an evil demi-human, and there's a guy that gets killed and comes back to life by this, it's invisible black matter. And it looks really, really cool. It's one of those stories of figuring out his true potential against crazy odds kind of thing. So that one but these are all Netflix originals that I think are pretty good.
I noticed you didn't mention one on there that I know is a Netflix original. Sinbad has
already been out for 2 seasons, and the Netflix original is technically it's like third.
Oh,
so
see, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I just know that came up in my thing one time and it says Netflix original. So, and I know that you had watched the Magi.
Yes,
that is the
it's
sequel, prequel. It's
okay. So yeah, so let me read. Yeah, Magi. There's 2 seasons of Magi. Sinbad comes from Magi, and so I guess you consider that a Netflix original since it's its own. Sinbad's its own thing, but it does come from a series that has already been around. So I don't know how they get the rights to consider it a
cool.
Netflix
I just wanted to bring that one up because I know I've seen that one.
That one is a good one.
And I didn't want, that one to be missed out on or anything.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess we're going to change gears now to talk about Nintendo. All right. So on the Nintendo Switch, I'd love to say we were going to talk about more, but it seems like we had some stuff recorded. Then Nintendo put out some information. So then we were about to do a re-record. Then Nintendo said that they were going to do an announcement in January on the pricing and a lot more information. So with that being said, we're just going to have this as kind of our first impressions of the system.
Yes.
And we'll have more, of course, in January when there's more information available. Just going bullet points real quick that interest me. The fact that it's both a home console and portable, interesting. Another thing, the fact that it's cartridge based as opposed to disc based. I think that's interesting considering the fact that we have technically memory cards now that are.
Well, it's like a beefy DS.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, the memory cards now you can have several hundred gigs on a memory card,
huge.
So they can definitely hold a lot more space. So that's something interesting.
Can I say though? Mm-hmm. And I love Nintendo, so I don't want anybody to think the wrong thing. I love Mario. I love a lot of the games that they have out. But let's just keep in mind that this is not technically a new idea. I mean,
you're going off of the PS Vita, the PlayStation Vita.
Now, I'm not saying by any means that was a successful venture. They had
It seems like Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo's very innovative. I'll give them that. It seems like they took an idea and went to 11 with it, because the Vita was a cool idea to take your games on the go if you wanted to. This is
and the cross-platform where you can use your Vita and play on the PS.
This is more though, because you can do it like directly. Like you take the system out of its holster and you're able to walk around and
and I'm not disagreeing with you. Yeah, I know it is more than what they could do. I do understand that. I just want to make sure that people aren't like glorifying this and thinking that this is a completely brand new idea that's never been thought of.
They have some interesting stuff with it.
Yeah.
It looks like there's going to be some motion sensors still possibly available.
Yeah. They were talking about the IR.
Yes, that there's been some IR little sensors confirmed on them. So that's interesting. Another interesting thing I thought of was that they're looking at the MLG, the Major League Gaming network, and they have the Pro controller and everything there. It looks like they're focusing more on having Nintendo be a competitor in that realm, which they have Smash Brothers and stuff like that, but it would be interesting to have that in there.
Yeah, definitely.
So that would definitely be something interesting. Like I said, I wish we could go on a little bit more, but we're going to save that for when Nintendo gives us some more pride. Because I'd love to talk more about what they're going to be including in this with this system, because they showed so many accessories. It's like Nintendo's really well known for having a lot of extra peripherals that you're not going to get from.
And can we talk just a few seconds about the mistake they made with Wii U that I see them correcting with the new system?
Yes, go for it.
I feel like one of their biggest mistakes with Wii U was the third-party support.
And that has obviously been remedied.
So that's the one thing I did see that I was happy about, is it seems like
with Skyrim, it looks like they have the probably ultimate version of Skyrim will be playable on it, which is cool to have, showing that that's a game that definitely is one that if you've been a Nintendo fan, you've missed out on that for a long time.
Now, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, you also have Zelda. They also
yes,
showed Zelda.
I know,
so
Zelda.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that
of course.
one. But
yeah, a lot of people love Zelda, so that's understandable.
So that's kind of our, I guess, our quick little note on it, since, we're going to wait till January to see what they really put out with, and then we'll kind of go more in depth. This is just our
first impressions, like you said.
First impressions off the trailer. With that being said, we've got a few things we need to kind of, I guess, talk about real quick. I'd like to give a shout out to CMP 150.
Yes,
definitely. He has been commenting. He's been somebody who's been definitely cool to, have commenting on this, on the SoundCloud account and Twitter. I think he's shot us a few things. So it's definitely cool to have him, commenting on there. I just want to give him a quick shout out. And I also want to say I did watch the first episode of Gurren Lagann.
I did too.
And I think we can both say we're impressed with it.
Yeah.
So definitely thanks for that. He also was the one that recommended Westworld to me. So another props to him for giving us two good recommendations. So just wanted to give that out there. As always, want to thank our DJ Golden Boy 89, who does all of our music. Just want to give him a quick shout out and thanks again, because the music we have is all done by him, so I greatly appreciate that. Finally, there is one more person I'd like to thank. If you've been watching our Twitter feed or anything, you've noticed that there is a new logo. Or if you've been on iTunes, there is a new logo that has popped up.
And I love it.
Yes, it is something that has actually been done by my older brother, who has done that. He just messaged me one day, asked me if hey, I got something, you want to take a look at it? And he sent it to me, and I was impressed. He's working on some other stuff in his spare time, so I can't wait to see what else he does for us.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to check out his work, you can find him on Instagram. It's Instagram.com/ZengerPhoto. Or you can also, he has his own website too, ZengerPhoto.com.
Great.
So that's definitely something I'd check out.
Very
he does
talented.
a lot of work, and I just wanted to give him a thanks on here for going out of his way to help us out without even being asked. So I appreciate that. With that being said, we'll definitely be out Monday with a new show. Actually, Monday's the Halloween special.
Ooh, yay.
Monday's going to be our Halloween special, so that's going to be a lot of fun with that. With that being said, definitely keep up to date on our Twitter. We got the Twitter is Zeng This. We got our Facebook page. Definitely go there, give us a like to keep up to date. We got Patreon now, which we're working on getting some exclusive content for any Patreon subscribers. So definitely, if you want to be a part of that, we will, of course, have more info on that as time progresses.
Yes.
And definitely check us out on SoundCloud and iTunes. We greatly appreciate the listens, the content on there that we've been getting from people and everything. So definitely, let us know what you want us to talk about. We definitely take, we're taking suggestions. We're recording stuff. We're trying to, get some cool stuff out there, but we want to know with you as fans, what stuff would you like us to cover and talk about? So with that being said, I guess we're going to wrap stuff up today.
Okay.
So we will see you guys Monday for a very spooky
Halloween
episode. Boom.